All right, so here's our first example. We are going to be changing the left side into the right side by using sines and cosines. So when you are given a problem that looks like this and you're trying to approach it, we're saying, okay, if I give you this, can I turn cosecant of x into secant x cotangent x? The answer is probably not, because I've got one thing on this side and I got two things over here, so that's just not going to work for me. But now, can I turn this secant x cotangent x into a cosecant of x? The answer is probably so. However, how do I do that? Well, if you look at the title, it says changing to sines and cosines to verify. So let's see if we can do that. So what you need to remember from your fundamental trig identities is that secant is the same thing as 1 over cosine of x. And then my cotangent is the same thing as cosine of x over sine of x. Okay? I'm multiplying secant and cotangent, so now I'm going to put these back together. I'm going to go 1 over cosine of x times cosine, try that again, times cosine of x over sine of x. I can do some cross canceling here. And this leaves me, notice I'm not putting equal signs. This leaves me with 1 over sine of x. Well, we know that from our fundamental trig identities, 1 over sine x is the same thing as cosecant of x. And this here gets us back to the actual problem that we're supposed to be getting to. So, with that being said, this is an easy one where you're just turning things into terms of sine and cosine. Now what I want you to do is I want you to try this one here. So we have cosecant of x, tan of x, and this is equal to secant of x. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a few moments, pause the video if you need to, take a few moments and try to solve this problem, turning the left side into nothing but terms of sines and cosines. And when you do it, you should wind up with secant x at the very end. Okay? I'm going to give you a few moments, so pause the video now. So if you notice, I've turned both of my cosecant into 1 over sine x and my tangent into sine x over cosine x. Put them back together. Do some cross cancellation here. And using my fundamental trig identities, I wind up with, which is what we started with. Okay? So that is the first type of a problem that you're going to wind up seeing. Not too bad, hopefully. So let's move on to example 2.